There will come a moment, maybe it's already come, when your spirit feels drained, your vision dimmed, and the fire inside flickers so faintly, you wonder if it was ever real to begin with. This is the moment that defines you, not the days when motivation runs high, not when everything clicks and the world cheers you on. No, you are defined in the silence, when there is no applause, no results, and no one watching. When all you have is the whisper in your soul telling you to keep going, and the brutal weight of doubt crushing it with every step. That's where greatness is born, because every legend you admire, every titan carved into history, has walked through that fire. Not around it, not above it, but straight through it. Think of Thomas Edison. He didn't stumble into the light bulb on his first try. It wasn't a spark of genius. It was a war of attrition. 10,000 failures, 10,000 dead ends, 10,000 chances to quit. And yet, he forced himself to keep going. Why? Because he understood something you must remember. The world doesn't reward the most talented. It rewards the most relentless. The truth is, talent without endurance is wasted potential. Intelligence without discipline is nothing but untapped power. Every time you decide to rest when you should be rising, to retreat when you should press forward, you are handing your future over to someone else, someone willing to do what you refused. So hear this and let it sear into your being. You do not need more time. You do not need more motivation. You need to make a decision that no matter what it takes, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many times life knocks you to your knees, you will get up again and again and again. There's a reason so few ever rise, because it's easier to make excuses than sacrifices. It's easier to blame circumstances than to bend reality with your will. But let me ask you, what if Henry Ford had listened when they called him insane for believing automobiles could replace horses? What if Walt Disney gave up when he was told he lacked imagination? What if Abraham Lincoln, after losing election after election, finally decided that maybe greatness wasn't in his destiny? You wouldn't be here speaking their names, because the names we remember are not the names of the gifted. They are the names of the obsessed, the ones who refuse to stop, the ones who, when every door slammed shut, built a door themselves, the ones who used every rejection as a chisel to carve themselves into the person they were destined to become. So now I ask you, are you willing to become obsessed? Are you willing to wake up early when your body screams for sleep? To keep working when no one is noticing? To believe when all logic says you shouldn't? Because that's what it takes. This journey will not give you clarity at the start. You won't see the full staircase. You'll be climbing in the dark, step by step, heart pounding, mind reeling. And yet, that's where belief begins. Not belief in luck, not belief in fate, belief in yourself. Belief that if you force yourself to keep going, a door will appear. It always does. And when it does, the people who doubted you, the voices that mocked you, they won't matter anymore. Because the only voice that will remain is yours, the one that said, I am not done, I am not finished, I am not broken, I am becoming. You see, the world is not holding you back. It never was. It's your doubt, your hesitation, your addiction to comfort, your need for validation before action. You don't need someone to believe in you. You need to believe without evidence. You need to wake up and act like the person you're trying to become, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Because those are the moments that build champions. Not motivation, discipline, not luck, sweat, not talent, relentless will. The mind is a battlefield, and the enemy is always whispering, stop, rest, you've done enough, there's no point. And your job is to answer with force. Not today, not yet, not until I win. And yes, it will be lonely. Success has a cost. It's not money, it's not fame, it's sacrifice. You will lose friends. You will be misunderstood. You will be doubted by those closest to you. But the question is not, will they support me? The question is, will I support myself when no one else does? You must become your own source of strength, your own compass, your own fire. You don't wait for confidence. You build it through action. You don't wait for opportunity. You create it through pressure. And you don't wait for life to be easy. You get stronger. Remember this. The lion does not apologize for hunting. The eagle does not explain why it flies alone. The wolf does not need the approval of the sheep to move forward. You weren't made to fit in. You were made to rise above. But rising requires pressure. Growth demands pain. The diamond is not born from comfort. It's forged in the darkness, crushed, heated, pushed beyond its limits. And so are you. You are not a victim. You are not weak. You are not small. You are powerful beyond measure. You just forgot. And now it's time to remember. Force yourself to keep going, even when it's dark, even when you're tired, even when every cell in your body begs you to stop. Because if you do, if you push one more time, one more hour, one more inch, you will change. Not just your results, not just your income, not just your circumstances. You will change who you are. And that change, that transformation, that is the real goal. That is the prize. Because the world doesn't just need more successful people, it needs more powerful souls, more men and women who have been through the fire and chose to become stronger, not smaller, humbler, not bitter, unstoppable, not broken. You can be one of them, but you must earn it, not once, not twice, every day. Every time you feel like quitting, don't. Stand up, straighten your back, lock eyes with your future, and say, I don't stop. I don't break. I keep going, no matter what. The moment you decide not to quit, you separate yourself from 99% of people. Because most people are chasing feelings. They're waiting to feel ready. They want to feel motivated. But feelings are fleeting, unstable, unreliable. Winners don't follow feelings. Winners follow commitment. They wake up tired and they still execute. They feel doubt and they still show up. They get hit and they still swing back harder because they know the path to greatness is not paved in comfort. It's carved by those who keep walking through storms while others wait for sunny days. Look around. Look at the world we live in. We are drowning in distractions, choking on comfort, addicted to ease. Convenience has killed courage, but not yours, because something in you refuses to die. That hunger, that whisper, that ache to become more, that's your real self calling you forward. And every time you ignore it, you feel smaller. Every time you betray it, you feel further from who you were born to be. So stop waiting for life to hand you permission. Force your way forward. Let this burn into your bones. Discipline is freedom. Sacrifice is power. Obsession is clarity. And if you truly want it, if you want to build the business, write the book, shape the body, claim the future, then you have to go to war with your weaker self. That version of you that says, take it easy, do it tomorrow, you've done enough. That voice is a liar. It's the voice of the old you, the average you, the part of you that dies every time you choose power, choose pain, choose perseverance. Do you think Michael Jordan became great by listening to that voice? Do you think Steve Jobs built Apple because it felt good every day? Do you think Martin Luther King Jr. led a movement because it was easy? No, they led, they built, they dominated, because they had a vision that was bigger than their excuses. They were possessed, they were called, and they answered that call by forcing themselves to act every single day. Not when the cameras were rolling, not when the world was clapping, but in the dark, alone, unseen. And that's what you must do now, because your vision, it's not going to build itself. Your legacy, it's not going to just happen. Your potential, it doesn't mean anything if you don't use it. The cemetery is full of people who had potential. Potential is worthless if it dies unrealized. And so I ask you, what will your life say about you when it's over? That you dreamed, or that you executed, that you hoped, or that you rose, that you wanted, or that you became. You don't need a second win. You need a second decision to stay in the fight when your body is tired, your soul is tested, and your heart is breaking. And when you feel like you can't take another step, take it anyway. That's when the breakthrough happens. That's when the gears shift. That's when the universe moves in your favor. Not because of chance, but because of your unyielding resolve. Force yourself to rise. Force yourself to grow. Force yourself to build. Because you are not entitled to success. You must demand it from yourself. And that means showing up when it's raining, working when you're hurting, pushing when you're empty. This isn't just about winning. This is about who you become in the process. And you are becoming someone the old you wouldn't even recognize. Because you're walking into the fire, not to be burned, but to be reforged. You are choosing pressure, not because it's comfortable, but because it's transformational. This is the path of warriors, of builders, of legends, the ones who don't beg for easier battles. They become stronger soldiers. And when the world throws everything it has at you, you laugh, because you've been in the trenches, you've bled, you've bent, but you've never broken. And now you are unshakable. Let the world doubt you. Let the odds be against you. Let the journey take longer than expected. Because you are no longer asking for things to change. You are becoming the force that changes things. You are the storm. You are the fire. You are the mountain that will not move. And the only way forward is through. So take that next step. Say yes to the pain. Say yes to the pressure. Say yes to the discipline. Say yes to the version of yourself you haven't met yet, but you're about to. Because this is it. The moment that divides those who dream from those who do. So stand tall, breathe deep, and speak this truth to every cell in your body. I don't run, I don't quit, I don't flinch. I force myself to keep going until I win. There's a quiet kind of power that lives in those who refuse to fold. It's not loud, it doesn't post its progress, it doesn't seek attention, it just keeps going. And eventually the world notices. Not because you shouted, but because you showed up. Long after others walked away, you became the last one standing. And that's what it takes. Because every mountain you climb will try to convince you to turn back. Every level up will test your right to rise. And every dream worth having will ask you the same question. Do you want this badly enough to suffer for it? Because if the answer is yes, if you're willing to hurt, to be misunderstood, to sacrifice sleep, comfort, popularity, and even certainty, then you are not chasing a dream. You are becoming it. Understand this. Success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by the person you become. And you don't become that person by accident. You become it by forcing yourself every single day to take the action you don't feel like taking, to say no to things that steal your focus, and to say yes to the hard path. The path of greatness. No shortcuts, no secrets, no handouts. Just the raw, brutal, beautiful truth. If you don't stop, you cannot fail. You may fall, you may lose, you may crawl on bloodied knees, but if you refuse to stay down, you win. Because this world bows to those who outlast it. And now, it's your turn. Your turn to show them what relentless looks like. Your turn to rise when no one expects you to. Your turn to walk through the fire, head high, eyes locked on the future you refuse to surrender. So let the doubters talk. Let the fear scream. Let the pain press down. You just keep walking, step by step, hour by hour, brick by brick, building the life you know you were born to live. And when that day comes, and it will, when you look around and realize you made it, not because it was easy, not because it was fair, but because you forced yourself to keep going, you'll know something that can never be taken from you. You earned this, with blood, with tears, with days no one saw, and decisions no one understood. You built yourself in silence, and now you move through the world with quiet dominance. Because you no longer need to prove anything. You are the proof. This is your life. This is your mission. This is your legacy. And it begins, again, right now. So get up, go again, and don't stop until you are unrecognizable, until your past no longer fits your name, until your future stares back at you and says, I knew you wouldn't quit. Keep going, no matter what.